This is not a NIO inside a NIO swap station. This is another card that can do battery swap in a NIO swap station. Also, in this video, you will see NIO's 4th gen swap station versus CATL's 3rd gen swap station. Let's go. Guys, we got some fantastic news. Take a look at this. This is not a NIO vehicle inside a NIO swap station. This is, of course, a partner car, all right, one of the Swap Alliance car that is built using NIO's skateboard and battery dimensions, capable of swapping in a NIO battery swap station. This car in particular belongs to Chery, Chery, which signed the strategic partnership a while ago, about a year ago, and as you can tell, this is one of the first videos, one of the first looks at a partner car doing a battery swap at a NIO swap station, which is absolutely fantastic. You can tell it's a much bigger SUV. Of course, I'm also going to show you CATL swap versus NIO's battery swap in a moment, but let's talk more about this. This car is slated to come out in Q3 of this year, which is absolutely fantastic. And remember, in terms of revenue proposition, each car built from these partners, they got to pay NIO royalties, they got to pay NIO for the batteries, and then, of course, every time they swap, NIO gets a little bit of the profit as well. So it's really going to be quite profitable. It's going to be like purely money coming in for them. So this is absolutely fantastic, and I know for a fact that for the past year or so, Dr. Shin Fei, head of NIO Power, has been really working hard to push these cars out. All right, with these partners working together with them. So this is definitely a very good. We're good. We're definitely going to see more of these cars come out. But of course, we also realized that just a few weeks ago, CATL announced more than 8 different car models that can use their chocolate battery swap ecosystem, sort of beating NIO to the market in a sense, okay? And I know a lot of people were concerned about that, but you can clearly tell, NIO's not slacking behind. And the CATL swap system has a few drawbacks that I'm just going to lay out. We have to admit that the batteries are much smaller. That's like 40, 50 kilowatt hours. Very small batteries, okay? Smaller batteries. They're able to fit more, but they're smaller batteries. And also, it seems like when they do a battery swap, because there's so many different car models, it's just purely doing a swap. It's not really like swap and do a system diagnostics and that kind of stuff and check the systems. It's just a swap. That's it. And here, take a look at this video. This is a interesting video, a video timing of CATL swap versus NIO's battery swap. You can tell that the CATL swap is faster, all right? It takes about like 70 so seconds to finish a CATL swap, whereas for NIO swap, it takes about 3 minutes. To be honest, the time difference, it's really not a big deal, especially compared to charging, but you have to notice that the CATL swap, it's just they just take the battery out, put a new one, and then they're done, right? No checking the systems, nothing like that whatsoever. And it seems like, of course, they have a smaller battery, less screws, etc. I'm sure with NIO's swapping, as time progresses, NIO will be able to swap much faster going forward. And also, let's not forget the fact that NIO swap stations already exist in the wild in masses, almost 2,900, whereas for CATL swaps, you barely find them anywhere, okay? And actually, when I was doing research, I tried to find them. I couldn't find them, man. Yeah, that's how scarce those CATL swap stations are. But of course, they have to gradually build them out. So you're going to see like CATL is definitely going to be a competitor to NIO in the sense of the battery swap game going forward. But that's nothing to be really that concerned about, for a while, we really thought that FAD or Rising Auto was a big competitor to NIO. You know, people were scared about that because they also did battery swap, but their battery swap stations couldn't get up to scale. You barely had one swap station in the city, and it was so far that nobody's gonna drive like 4 or 5 kilometers to do a battery swap and come back. That's just stupid. And the battery swap stations barely get any action. So, you know, Rising Auto, their sales have slumped. Their sales are just terrible. They're almost going out of business, so to speak. And GAC, they also have a few cars that can do battery swap. Their swap stations don't get much action either, right? You really have to get up to scale. It's like gas stations. If you only have a few gas stations, it doesn't really make sense to go with gasoline cars, right? So they have to get it up to scale first. But definitely going forward, CATL is going to be a competitor for NIO, nonetheless, in the swap game. But NIO already has a first mover's advantage. And NIO CO's perspective about this is the fact that now that CATL is doing it, and by the way, I've heard from numerous NIO owners close to the CEO that the CATL's swapping system tech came from NIO. All right, like NIO gave them the patents. Not sure like if they paid money for them or there's a licensing agreement, but it's definitely in good terms. It's not like a rival thing. Like I want to take your business. It's like good terms. It's like a friend to a friend. I'm gonna teach you my art, and then you're gonna like also do this art with me, sort of like that. So there's that going on, but it's sort of like they gave them that tech so that CATL can keep on producing NIO's batteries at a cheap price, and they have a good sort of relationship going forward. So it's not a evil kind of like competition. It's a friendly competition. The CEO's perspective is that because CATL is doing it, it's easier to explain to customers now. You see, like it's not just us doing battery swap. CATL is also doing battery swap. Battery swap is clearly the future. It's the way to go. But I think long term, the CATL swap system is definitely more suitable for smaller cars with 40, 50 kilowatt hour battery packs, whereas the NIO swap stations will be suitable for the bigger cars. And you can tell from the Cherry car, it's an SUV, a bigger SUV that can do battery swap. And clearly, bigger cars, you need bigger batteries, and it wouldn't really be suitable for those cars to use a CATL swap system. So that's pretty interesting. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Are you guys concerned about CATL doing battery swap at all? Are you guys happy to see the Cherry battery swap? I'm just excited to see this car launch on the road, and I hope it sells well. I hope that going forward, NIO is able to earn a lot of royalties from this. This is going to be very, very good for shareholders, okay? As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.